Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Jagerwerks B.R.O.S. Let's get right into the first 30-second breakdown. That's where in the first 30 seconds, give or take, I give you guys my exact thoughts on this product before we get into the full review. That way you guys can either stop watching because now you know exactly what I think of the product, or you can keep watching and find out exactly why I say those things, and it does help out with the YouTube algorithms as well and the channel. So with the B.R.O.S, if you have an SRO, Trijicon SRO, and you're a little worried about the durability of it, this is the thing to get. It's gonna put a shroud over that to protect it, and if you drop it, have any kind of shock to this, that is gonna protect your glass and not break it. I've heard that's a lot of issues with some people with SRO, and this is just a way to prevent that. It does a really good job at what it does. I really like it. I have had no issues with it. I've dropped it a couple times and have not had any issues to the Optic itself, and the only downfall is gonna be the actual size of the B.R.O.S itself, which is a little bit large, but if you're okay with the size, then this is a really cool product to get. So let's get right into my relationship with Jagerwerks. I have done work with them in the past. They've done some slide work for me. They do fantastic work. They're the company I usually recommend to everybody for Optic cut, slide work, Cerakote, but I did spend my own money on the B.R.O.S when that came out. I pre-ordered it when I seen it available, and I knew there for a while because what I wanted was an RMR for this just because of the durability, but once I saw the B.R.O.S for the SRO, the field of view for the SRO was really attractive to me and appealing, so I went with that, and I ordered the B.R.O.S as soon as possible. So now let's get into the full review. So with Trijicon coming out with the SRO, I think everybody really thought it was going to have that durability of the RMR because it's known for its durability. You know, you can drive nails with the thing. But when it came out, it did not have quite the durability, obviously because of the shape, the design. But when you get that larger field of view in this design of the SRO, you're going to lose that durability a little bit. And I just don't think people really understood that. So when they got it and they started not having quite the durability they expected, they were getting a little discouraged. Jagerwerks came out with this, and it's a really simple but very effective way to basically resolve that issue. You're not going to have any problems with the glass because if it hits anything, it's just going to hit the actual B.R.O.S, the device itself, and not hit your optics. So that is pretty cool. I had the SRO on this gun without the B.R.O.S previously, and I never had any issues with durability, but I also never really dropped my gun or did any durability tests. So once the B.R.O.S did come in, I did a couple I dropped the gun a couple times just to see how it would work, and I never had any issues. So so far it's been really good. You have some cutouts here on the side for your buttons. It's a little bit thinner, so if you have real fat fingers, you might have to go in with more of your fingernail opposed to your actual finger to be able to press them. But I haven't had any issues, but I also have pretty thin fingers. So with this product, there really isn't a ton to say with it because it's one of those things that either it does what it's supposed to or it doesn't, and this one does what it's supposed to really well. There's really not a whole lot to it other than it just shrouds your optic and keeps it protected. Two things I want to note. Not really downfalls, not really anything that I'm going to say is a con, but things I want to note with this. I have a CHPWS plate on this. I really like their plates. I use them for this, and I'm going to be using it for the Hellcat as well. And the only thing I had to do when I got this was cut out the holes a little bit more, just because the way the plate's designed, it didn't fit the B.R.O.S because the B.R.O.S is designed for the SRO, not a plate system. So I just had to do some minor changes to it, but it wasn't anything crazy. I just took a drill press, cut it out a little bit wider, and I did not have any issues with it. Now, I actually did contact Jagerwerks when I had that happen. I asked them about it, and they said, you know, hey, we'll send you a new one or send us that one back and we will fix it. So they're very open to fixing the problem that I had, but I thought it was kind of silly to make them send me a new one when I could just go down to the garage real quick and cut it out and just have no issues. So I haven't had any problems with it. So if you do have a CHPWS plate or another plate system, you might want to contact them first and see if they might have resolved this since then, I'm not sure, or they might be able to cut them a little bit wider to start with before they send it to you. So just ask them about that if you do have that, just so you don't run into any issues later on down the road. The next thing I'm going to mention is it is large. So as you can see here, it's a little bit wider than the actual gun. So usually when you have your optics, they're pretty streamlined for the most part. With the B.R.O.S, obviously since it shrouds around the optic and the SRO's fairly large handgun optic, it does make it look pretty big. Now on the Glock 34 that I have here, I don't think it looks too big. I actually think it looks really sharp on here. But if you have a smaller gun, a Glock 19 or something, it might look a little large. That's just going to be aesthetically for some people. Now what I think looks really good is if you put this on like a PCC, like a rifle as well. For your 3-gunners, an offset, something like that, fits really well on those type of guns because the rifle almost engulfs handgun optics or these micro red dots. And if you put the B.R.O.S on it, it makes it look a little bit bigger and actually fits the rifle a little bit better. So it actually is a benefit for rifles, but a little bit of a downfall for handguns if you're going to go with something smaller or if you just don't like that larger size. So I'm sure people are going to ask about concealed carry. I don't carry this often, but I have carried it. So people will be like, hey, you know, if you're carrying it, does this get in your way? Is it really uncomfortable with the B.R.O.S? And it's not something I noticed when I put it in the holster. It wasn't anything that I was like, whoa, that's really obnoxious. I mean, this whole gun is pretty obnoxious to concealed carry, honestly. It's a Glock 34 with the biggest accessories I could pretty much go with. The main reason is because it's a range gun. It's more of a duty outside the waistband holster setup. It's not my concealed carry setup. But I've done it before just to see how I like it, and it wasn't anything that was like, wow, absolutely not, I have to take this off. So if you put this on a concealed carry setup, I don't think you're going to have any issues. So is this something I would recommend and spend my own money on? Yes, I absolutely recommend it for those of you that are looking to have a little bit more durability with your SRO. I think the SRO is such a nice optic to have because of the field of view. It's so nice to have that larger glass. You can find your dot way better. You can bring it down quicker and easier. With the RMR, I found with that dip, it's just a little small. I mean, it's not a problem. You can still see it, and when more you train with it, the less of a problem it becomes. But with the SRO, it's just so much easier, and it's a superior optic in that sense, and the fact that it's just much larger and it's much easier to see through it. So I definitely do recommend this. If you guys want to pick up a B.R.O.S for yourself, go check out Jagerwerks. And if you want slide works, optic cuts, things like that, they also offer that stuff as well. Fantastic company, love those guys. Haven't done any slide work or anything with them in a while because I really haven't done a ton of handgun stuff. I did a lot of stuff with them there in the past, and they did some really cool projects. I'll show you guys here some of the things they did for me. They did some really, really cool slide cuts and slide work. I met them at a SHOT Show in Vegas, and they brought one of my slides out there for me. It's really cool to meet them on the show, and then they handed me a slide. It was pretty neat. But cool guys, and definitely do fantastic work. So if you guys are looking, check them out. If you guys want to help out the channel and the things that I do here, there's a couple ways to do that. Down in the description, there are some discount codes for some really great companies that I trust. Using those discount codes gives me a small kickback along with giving you guys a discount. So it's kind of a win-win. Vertex being one of them, they offer 25% off for you guys, which is a really big discount, especially for the things they offer, like clothing, gloves, gear, bags, a lot of really cool stuff that they have. So check them out if you want to. There's also a link to my website. From there, there's other links like Brownells, Aero Precision, Premier Body Armor. Anything you purchase using my link gives me a small kickback as well and shows those companies that I'm generating traffic, which is always a really good thing for the channel and helps me be able to afford ammo and get out there and do testing for you guys and buy little products like this to be able to show off and give you guys my thoughts on them. So all of that is greatly appreciated. If you guys enjoy my content and the videos and they help you guys out, consider subscribing and leaving a comment. Let me know what you guys think. That stuff does help out a ton, and I greatly appreciate it. It's just nice to interact with you guys as well in the comment section. If you guys don't want to, I just appreciate you guys being here watching the video. Another company that supports me a ton is Howitzer. Absolutely love these guys and support them as well. They donate 5% of proceeds to charity, and they donated a ton of money last year. So it's really cool to see that, and the clothing they come out with is awesome. I'm going to be doing a collaboration with them here soon. I'm very excited about that, and this is actually their Chris Kyle collection, so they have a lot of really cool apparel. As you guys can tell, this is a completely different backstop. The lighting's all different. So we just sold our house. We are in the process of building a house, and we moved in here for the time being. So the background's going to be different for a little bit. I actually just bought some lighting because the lighting in here is horrible, so I had to get some actual lighting. So it might be a little bit weird here for a while. I got to play around with it and actually figure out exactly where I want the lighting to be. So we're working with that. I'm gonna hold this for a little bit because I don't get to play this one a lot. This was actually in my concealed canvas for the longest time in our house, and when we moved out, I pulled it out, and I really just missed this gun because I don't shoot it a ton because it's 300 blackout and it's really expensive to shoot. So I'm just gonna hold it for a second while we talk. But so the background's gonna be a little bit different for now. Lighting, I'm gonna work on it. If you guys have any suggestions for lighting, let me know. I just bought one of these ring lights, and it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of different because I'm not used to doing this in front of lighting and everything. Before, the old house had really nice natural lighting, and I would just open the windows and it worked out really well. So if you guys have any suggestions for lighting or how to make this better, let me know. And if you guys like how it is right now and it works for you, let me know that as well in the comments below. Thanks again, guys, and I appreciate you all.